No, you're not divas. You're not a bunch of divas.
I appreciate that. That's only because you don't know me very well.
Well, give us some details what we don't know then.
Change my mind.
I tore your dressing room to pieces back.
Good.
Great.
I hope so.
A real rock star.
It's hard to imagine that you've done something to it that hasn't already happened.
Right.
So you have had a lot of success. Have you had a chance to really sit back and drink it in and celebrate a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, I guess so. I have a great group of friends, and, you know, we've traveled the world together on the press tours, but one of my favorite kind of aspects of this job is the way the press will manipulate the truth and come out with the most outrageous headlines. That is crazy. I've had so many people call me up because apparently I bought a new house in South London.
You did?
Which is completely false. Like, I didn't buy a new house.
Yes, you did. Don't you remember?
I'm like, wow, what a surprise. I wonder when I'll get the keys. But
so where did that come from? Was there any inkling of truth to that? Where did you walk by a house? Did you go to someone's house? Were you invited over?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Is it true that you call your mom every day?
Most days, yeah, almost every day.
That's really
I've been
nice.
bad. I haven't called her today. I remember I was doing a film years ago when I was a kid, and I was away for like a month or something by myself, and I remember my mum called me up and told me off because I hadn't been in touch. And I think I didn't realise how important it was to my mum. You know, her oldest son is away. She wants to hear from me. So now, we speak every day and just have a chat, 10 minutes, whatever it is.
Do you FaceTime or call?
It has to be FaceTime.
Because does your mother have strict rules? We have strict rules, and sometimes our parents understand the FaceTime, but my mother doesn't like a FaceTime when she's still in her robe. And I'm supposed to know exactly what time she's done robing.
Bless my Granny Tess, like, she's the same. I'll have to speak to her ear for 5 minutes, or I'm like, Granny, it's a FaceTime.
Wait, how old is Granny Tess?
Granny Tess, I'm not sure how old.
Well, just give us like a ballpark.
She'd be in her late 70s.
So that's like, that's like younger
Barbara.
Than my parents.
Well, it's like Barbara and Joe.
So my parents truly have no idea how FaceTime works.
Okay.
So the things I see when I FaceTime them,
it's hilarious.
Is extraordinary. And they tell me they can see me when they're holding the camera in the wrong direction. I know because they're holding everything out.
Yeah, my mum's the same. They've now changed it, so you flip it. It used to be really easy to flip the camera, and now it's really difficult. I don't know why they've decided to change that.
So, Tom, for Spider-Man, you got to reunite with two other Spideys.
Of course.
How did that reunion come about?
I mean, it was an interesting experience, you know. I think, for me, I was very nervous about the whole thing because, you know, when you play a character like Spider-Man for such a long period of time, you do have a certain sense of ownership over the character, you know. And Toby, Andrew, and I are all kind of all have our, you know, equal rights to the Spider-Man sort of mantle, and I was just very nervous that we wouldn't get along. We didn't really know each other particularly very well before the film, and I was, you know, delighted to say that when we finally got together and we were on set and we were all in our suits, it was like we were like brothers separated at birth, because we've all been through something that's so unique.
But did you think they were going to be possessive about the character?
Yeah, there was an element of that I was worried about, but it was the complete opposite.
Well, Tobey Maguire is a known possessive person.
Nah, he's lovely. We used to call him T McG, and he's lovely, and they're both lovely. I mean, for me to share that with them, you know, being Spider-Man, while it is an incredible opportunity, can be quite alienating because, you know, at the time you're the only person in the world doing it, and you're a 19-year-old kid.
Yeah.
So to almost have older brothers in your world was really exciting.
And do you rub that in? Do you remind them that they are much significantly older than you?
Yes, and that's why if you see the film, they're talking about their bad back and they're stretching before the battle, and my character is bouncing back from rooftops.
All the aches and pains of being Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we're back in a moment with Tom. Stay where you are right after this.
See that now? Right there, Tom Holland. Tobey Maguire couldn't have pulled that off. He would have gotten super hurt doing
Maybe
that.
back in the day.
Was that to see from Uncharted? Nathan Drake is who you're playing. Tell us about Uncharted.
It's a very exciting film for me. It's based off an incredibly successful video game series, the Uncharted video game series. I played the games when I was shooting Spider-Man 1. You know, obviously Spider-Man being a Sony movie, Sony owning PlayStation, one of the luxuries is that they give you a PlayStation. So I was playing Spider-Man.
They give it to you.
Yeah, it's in the trailer. It's one of the perks of working for, you know, wonderful Sony. So I was playing the games, and I remember I went to Sony and pitched them the idea for a young Bond film. essentially like the origin story to who James Bond is. And I guess they liked the idea and they kind of evolved that pitch and created this new version of what Uncharted could be. You know, we're telling the story of Nate's first adventure, whereas in the games he's already a sort of established treasure hunter. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of pressure. It's a massive game. It has a huge following. So it was really important to us to focus and get it right and do the work.
You keep finding yourself in these roles where there's a huge fan following, where people are putting enormous amounts of pressure on you.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's actually more pressurizing than Spider-Man, because when I played Spider-Man, I was so young, I didn't really understand how much pressure I was under. I was just too excited.
Yeah.
But now that I'm a little bit older and I understand, like, the big stage that we're all standing on, I was aware of the pressure, but also the difference between Spider-Man and Nathan Drake is that people have been able to be Nathan Drake for the last 15 years. They've played the video games, they've immersed themselves in the world. So now we're asking the audiences to sit back, allow us to take them on an adventure, and hopefully enjoy it as much as we did.
It's rare that I'm sure you can sit with someone and talk about these pressures and one can relate to those pressures. I have been asked to play the role of you in Spider-Man for our upcoming Oscar skit.
Wow.
And I'm seeing your mannerisms, I'm listening to you, and I'm feeling a great deal.
A lot, yeah.
And Tom, I like to workshop before I get into the role.
Okay.
So is there
Show
any...
me your best poses. Let's have a look.
I need to... Could you show me the signature pose so that I can master that? Because
these trousers, these lovely Prada trousers are too tight.
Okay. Well, that's why they keep putting me in tight clothes then.
See, that was a very American response.
Yeah.
No, but so we do this every year.
I love it, though. They were
we
explaining to me
salute some of the big roles in the big movies, and I have to play you as Spider-Man.
Amazing. I can't wait to see it. That's exciting.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to see it either, actually. It's going to be one for the records.
Do you think that you'll be able to pull it off?
I do.
And did you get into the costume yet?
I did.
You did.
Yeah.
No
Did they give you a zipper? And you know what I mean by a zipper.
No, it's a very cheap-looking costume.
Well,
it's
mine
not
is
the
very
one.
expensive and still doesn't have a zipper.
What do you have to do? Hold
So
it
what's
all
your
day?
guidance?
Yeah, I just hold it. On the first movie, I remember we were shooting this sequence on the Washington Monument. And I was in the suit for days at a time, sort of 11 hours, and I was young, so I wanted to impress the studio. I didn't want them to think that I needed breaks. And I remember calling my mum up on our daily phone calls.
Yeah.
I was like, Mom, I'm really struggling. Like, I'm working every day, and because I wear the suit, I can't go to the bathroom. And then 2 days later, the producer came up to me and was like, how are your kidneys?
Yeah, right, exactly.
I was like, my kidneys are fine. Why are you asking? He's like, well, your mom called us.
No! She's very concerned about your organs on this shoot.
Yeah, so my mom called up the biggest studio in the world and was like, give my son toilet breaks.
You know what? I'm on your mom's side. Your mom is right, by the way.
Great to see you. Uncharted is in theaters and IMAX today. Tom Holland, everybody.
Thank you.
Pleasure. When we come back, the Crafty Lumberjacks right after this.
You're a delight.